So there you go, PCQI. So you have your auditing questions under FSSC 22000. Here we go again. Hello again, PCQIs, and welcome back in our segments of All About Compliance. In today's segment, we're going to be talking about FSSC 22000 review, types of food fraud, and auditing. Now, this is a continuation of the first part on our food fraud mitigation that we perform under FSSC 22000 guidelines review. So same thing applies here. We put the reference link in the description below. So please take a look at those and actually the guidelines. And if you need more information concerning this segment, please visit FSSC 22000 website, so you can get copies of the proper guidelines and assistance from FSSC 22000. All right, perfect. So now let's take a look at this. So here we go. So first things first on this one, let's take a look at some of the abbreviation. So they have identified a GFSI. So GFSI stands for Global Food Safety Initiative. SSAFE or SAFE, safe, secure, and affordable food for everyone. And they have GFSI FFTT, Global Food Safety Initiative, Food Fraud Think Tank. And they put in another definition for gray market, which stands for a market employing irregular but not illegal methods, such as theft, something stolen, diversion, parallel trade, the act of an instance of diverting, straying from a course, activity, or use. Okay. Now, I'm going to read off now the types of food fraud we're going to look at. They have put in some definitions and examples. So the GFSI type of food fraud that they're going to be looking at is dilution, substitution, concealment, unapproved enhancement, mislabeling, gray market production / theft or diversion, counterfeiting. Okay, and now we're going to take a look at, let's go back here on their list. Okay, so now this list is also on the link. So let's look at the definition from SAFE on dilution. Dilution is the process of mixing a liquid ingredient with high value with a liquid of lower value. Okay, so that's dilution. Example from GFSI FFTT. It's watered down products using non-potable / unsafe water. Olive oil diluted with potentially toxic tea tree oil. Okay, so these are just example. General type of food fraud. This one is been categorized as adulterant, substance, or adulterant. So when you are performing your types of food fraud, take a look at the definition example that they've given. Next part of it, substitution. So the definition for that is the process of replacing an ingredient or part of the product of high value with another ingredient or part of the product of lower value. Examples from GFSI FFTT is sunflower oil partially substituted with a mineral oil, hydrolyzed leather protein in milk. So same thing, it's an adulterant, substance, or tampering is the general type of food fraud. Now, concealment, the process of hiding the low quality of a food ingredient or product. Examples are poultry injected with hormones to conceal disease, harmful food coloring applied to fresh fruit to cover defects, okay? Adulterant, substance, or tampering. An approved enhancement is the process of adding unknown and undeclared materials to food products in order to enhance their quality attributes. Example of this is melamine added to enhance protein value, use of unauthorized additive, Sudan dyes in spices. it is now it is considered an adulterant, substance, or tampering. So that's the general type. Okay. Mislabeling, the process of placing false claim on packaging for economic gains. Expiry provenance, example, expiry provenance, unsafe origin, toxic Japanese star anise labeled as Chinese star anise, mislabeled recycled cooking oil. So this is tampering when it comes to mislabeling. Gray market, production theft, diversion, outside a scope of safe tool. So that's outside of their scope. There's no definition for that. Example is sale of excess unreported product allocated for the U.S. market appearing in Korea. Overrun, theft, or diversion is the category. Counterfeiting, the process of copying the brand name, packaging concept, recipe, reprocessing method, etc. of food products for economic gains. So example of these are copies of popular foods not produced with acceptable safety assurances, counterfeit chocolate bars, etc. So this is counterfeiting. Now let's take a look at, now that we've looked at those types of example of food fraud with their definitions, let's look at the auditing now. So let's kind of jump in. Now you're going to go through your audit. So if you're using the FSSC standard, obviously you're going to be going through the certification requirement. This is what they're going to look for. Now for us PCQI that might be considering a GFSI type of scheme such as an FSSC in the future, this is an actual it's a very good guideline to help us get ready. And if we are not doing that, not yet, it's also part of our, food defense, food fraud vulnerability assessment requirement, on the regulatory side. So this is a very good guidelines. We're also going to visit the regulatory side so you can see the crossover between the certification requirements and standard, such as an FSSC 22000 and the regulatory requirements on the Code of Federal Regulation. Okay, so let me read the guidelines here. Food fraud poses a significant risk, and it is important that around the globe the food industry takes action. Auditors, however, must realize that they are not crime investigators. They are not supposed to detect fraud or confirm that the anti-food fraud program is adequate to prevent fraudulent issues. Auditors should audit only how well the company has protected itself and check if all elements required by FSSC 22000 are in place. The introduction of food fraud prevention within the organization's food safety management system is expected to become more granular over time. At first stage, it is more realistic to focus on the system, strategy, being fit for purpose rather than focusing on the effectiveness of control measures. As an auditor, the following questions need to be asked as a minimum. Is there a team with the correct competencies/knowledge? Has a vulnerability assessment been performed and documented? Are all types of vulnerabilities covered? Substitution, unapproved enhancement, misbranding, counterfeiting, stolen goods, or others. Depth of the vulnerability assessment, historical data, economic motivations, detectability, etc. Breadth of the vulnerability assessment, all materials covered. Is there a methodology to determine the significance of vulnerabilities? When significant vulnerabilities are identified, is there a written prevention plan? Is the performance of the food fraud prevention process evaluated in line with ISO 22000-2018, Chapter 9, Performance Evaluation? Is the analysis regularly reviewed and is the frequency adequate? Is the emergency response team prepared, right, per ISO 22000-2018, paragraph 8.4? Is all of the above effectively included and implemented through the organization's food safety management system? For example, records, awareness of people, site security, internal audits, management review. Okay. So there you go, PCQI. So you have your auditing questions under FSSC 22000. If you are working with a different certification requirements or scheme, such as an SQF or a BRC or IFS and others, please take a look at their standard guidelines. Right now, I know you're reading this. This might be better, or that one is better, or they're similar, or this one is lacking this, and this one does not, is lacking that, and you want to make your system better. I do that, right? I take a look at one guidelines and another guidelines, and to make my food safety management system, in this event, my food fraud vulnerability assessment program, to be stronger, right? I can combine both. I can combine what's missing on one and add it to my program, So anyways, thank you again, PCQI, for your viewership. And once again, stay strong, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Contact us. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Thanks again, PCQIs. Have a good one.